How does a wetland treat nitrate from agricultural drainage? Why is nitrate used and where does it come from? Nitrogen is a limiting nutrient that plants use for growth, but it is not readily available in a useful form. Using the Haber-Bosch process, unusable atmospheric nitrogen is refined into ammonia, which is used to make two more useful forms of nitrogen, nitrate and ammonium. These forms are applied to agricultural fields as fertilizer to increase plant growth. However, not all of the nitrogen applied to agricultural fields is able to infiltrate into the soil and be taken up by plants. This excess nitrogen is carried away by runoff. If left untreated, nitrogen found in the runoff will make its way to rivers, lakes, and oceans, leading to an excess of nitrogen in these waters. As nitrogen can be a limiting nutrient, if the nitrate concentration becomes too high in a body of salt or brackish water, it can lead to algal blooms and eutrophication, which can have disastrous effects for aquatic organisms.
How can this nitrate be removed? Both natural and man-made wetlands provide nitrate removal from water. But how does this happen? First, let's look at how the nitrate-rich water reaches these areas. Most runoff eventually makes its way to local streams, rivers, and large bodies of water. Some water passes through natural wetlands, where it can be treated as it travels downstream. These areas are naturally slow-moving or stagnant and often contain vegetation. Not all runoff passes through these areas, however. Runoff can be diverted into man-made sites for treatment before it is returned to surrounding waterways. Wetlands are effective at treating nitrogen in the form of nitrate, so nitrate can enter directly, or it can enter as ammonium, which can be converted to nitrate through a process called nitrification.
Once nitrates have entered the wetland, they move down the water column. Within the water above the sediment, and about 1 to 5 millimeters into the sediment, oxygen is present. This region is called aerobic. Within this area, most organisms performing respiration use oxygen as an electron acceptor due to its high electronegativity. As you move down deeper into the sediment, the supply of oxygen decreases as it is consumed and cannot be replenished as fast due to the tortuosity of the sediment and the speed of the oxygen diffusion in water. This creates an oxygen gradient that eventually leads to a lack of oxygen below this depth in the sediment. This area is called anaerobic. Once the nitrogen reaches this region, it becomes the next best electron acceptor. In a process called denitrification, organic matter is used as an electron donor, transferring electrons stored on atoms within it via the electron transfer molecules to power the formation of a proton gradient within the cell, which is used to generate ATP, the energy currency of the cell. The byproducts of the nitrate in this reaction are dinitrogen, an inert gas that makes up 79% of the atmosphere, and a small amount of nitrous oxide gas, which both rise up the water column and get released back into the atmosphere. Nitrate is an important nutrient for us. Without it, we could not produce the amount of food we need to sustain our population, but too much can pose a risk. Utilizing wetlands' ability to remove excess nitrates from runoff helps prevent ecological damage. The use of wetlands as a treatment system harnesses our understanding of the natural world and the biochemical adaptations of bacteria to remove nitrate from the water column and release it as harmless N2 gas back into the atmosphere.